East Kalimantan, the Dayak Manuk of Muara Tae are performing a traditional ceremony. Members of the village have brought their sick loved ones to be healed. While the Dayak and ceremony date back some 3,000 years, the story unfolding just outside is modern, and for Indonesia, all too common. For generations, the village Muara Tae has survived on a near subsistence lifestyle, depending on the surrounding forest for food and materials for shelter. But today, that way of life is under threat. According to activists, plans by companies PT Munte and PT Borneo to convert Muara Tae's remaining ancestral forest into palm oil plantations would devastate the village and Dayak way of life. Petrus Asoy is a Dayak leader and organizer of a local group opposed to the plantation.
Karena kita melihat dari perizinan yang diberi pemerintah kepada perusahaan sawit, tidak ada membuat ini kelompok sawit, ini kelompok hutan, ini kelompok untuk masyarakat adat berdomisili melakukan gerakannya seperti biasa. Tidak ada. Seluruh sawit semua dengan kampung-kampung. Yang jelas ada beberapa hal yang menjadi punah. Pertama, nama Dayaknya dan gerakan Dayaknya, adatnya, segala macam akan punah.
Muara Tae's situation is far from unique. Indonesia's vast natural resources have led to years of rampant agricultural development. Levels of deforestation peaked between 1997 and 2000 when close to 3 million hectares of forest were being lost annually. Combined with the population of forest-living peoples estimated between 80 and 95 million, the impact has been both human and environmental.
So in Indonesia you have these forests which grow on peatlands where there's a lot of organic material. And so when those forests are cleared, that carbon that's stored in the peat ends up in the atmosphere. So while Indonesia may not lose as much forest as, say, Latin America, you end up having more carbon emissions from forest conversion there. So that's a big issue. A recent estimate I saw said that about 25% of forest loss in Indonesia can be attributed to oil palm expansion, and about 50% of peatlands conversion is linked to oil palm.
Indonesia is the world's leading producer of palm oil. In 2010, the country produced 90 million tons, an increase of more than 53.5 million over the year 2000. In the U.S., palm oil is at the center of what may be the Environmental Protection Agency's most pressing decision of the year. The EPA is deciding whether or not to approve palm-based biodiesel for U.S. consumption under the Renewable Fuel Standard. The 2005 RFS mandates that all U.S. refineries mix a certain percentage of renewable fuel into their gas and diesel. Based on analysis that took into strong consideration the damage of peatlands, the oil was rejected for not meeting a required 20% emissions improvement over traditional fuel. In response to the preliminary findings, the Indonesian Palm Board hired one of DC's most powerful lobbying firms, Holland & Knight, to dispute the claim. There is no word as to a timetable when the final decision will be made. Back in Muara Tae, Asoy and his group have received support from an international NGO and continue to fight from within the legal system and forest. Much of their time is spent tending to the jungle and working to simply preserve their culture. Despite the peaceful scene, tensions remain. A shelter that was built for observation and to prevent illegal clearing of land was burned to the ground by arsonists. While half the structure still remains, the site is a reminder that the Dayak are not the only group with something at stake. Muara Tae and the Dayak situation, like so many other villages, remains both volatile and unresolved.